morning, Facebook peeps. It's Julia Jordan, another Facebook Live where we are inviting a lender. Today it is my friend Matt. So we want to talk a little bit about the market. I want to get you guys as many different opinions of lenders and of the experts as possible, so you can just compare the knowledge and make up your own mind what you think where we are heading in this ever-changing market. Right now we are definitely in a roller coaster. Interest rates are rising and the Fed announced they will rise in 8 more tiers.
Hey.
Good morning, Matt. Aren't we fancy? Good morning.
Good morning.
Very good. How are you?
How are you?
It does work.
Good. So this does work.
It's like everything in life. You just need to figure out. It's like in our real estate market. We just need to figure out how to do it and then what repeat once we figured it out.
Exactly.
How are you doing? Did you already do your gym
Exactly.
time?
All is yes,
awesome.
all done
Good.
and ready for the day.
I also showered, so I'm also ready for my day. I go door knocking later and I get a new microwave, and then I have a fixer upper house that I will walk with my contractor later, and then I do some more door knocking, and then I'm a mom again in the afternoon. Kids come back from
Look at you. Go Julia, go. Go okay. Julia, go.
Hey Matt, you and me are meeting here on Facebook to share with everybody your knowledge. You are a very busy lender, helping many people out there. You have a big team. How about you tell a little bit about yourself, and then you share a little bit your opinion about the current market and maybe how you see it the next 6 to 12 months. I think that would be very interesting for most peeps out there.
Sure. No, hey, thanks for the invite. So I'm Matt Brown. I'm with Encompass Lending Group. Been in the business almost 22 years. Corporate office for us is in Katy, Texas. I've got a regional office in Tomball. I have my own team with loan partners. We've got our own underwriter. So basically, we're running a company inside of a company. So we do a great job. We right now times are a little challenging for all of us in the market. So we're trying to get creative to find out how we can add more value to you, the agents, and just how we can add more value to the buyers and be creative in our financing. So that's kind of where we're at right now, just kind of meddling through the mud, but all is good. It's still a great time to buy. As you know, we're out there saying the biggest cliche right now, you know, marry the house and date the interest rate, and divorce the rent. So we don't want people renting.
The last one was
we
new
do
to
not
me.
want
I've
people
not
renting.
heard
so,
that. So that's
anyway,
hilarious. Divorce the rent.
Divorce
Everybody
the rent.
should definitely divorce the rent. You know, I have a
Yes.
rental portfolio right now. I'm with 11 houses. I was up to 15. We sold some, put some money in our piggy bank, hoping to have opportunities to repurchase. Right?
Wow.
I didn't spend it all. I didn't spend it all.
Yes.
So
yes.
I believe there's good opportunity right now to purchase because the market is a little bit frozen. So when no one else is buying, guess what? It's a good time for the investors to buy. And everybody who's a homeowner, in my opinion, we should all understand that we are investors. Even if we just buy one house, it is real estate investing, and you will appreciate and you have all the benefits of tax deductions, etc., etc.
Right. You hit. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I was just going to say you hit the nail on the head because I mean we talk about this all the time. I mean rent is 100% interest. So you know 7.25% doesn't sound so bad. Plus you know we're seeing we see on average 8 to 10% appreciation. So and the taxable write-off for the interest on the loan and the property taxes. So I mean there's so many upsides to obviously purchasing and everything that I've read and like you, I mean, we're keeping our finger on the pulse of what the industry is doing. And we know, I mean, we feel very confident that at least here in Houston and the Texas markets, that home prices are not going down. I mean, what we're seeing going down right now are people that were overinflated in the first place from a few months ago. So the market is normalizing. It's getting back to kind of pre-COVID expectations. So we're seeing some normalizations. I'm getting people approved, you know, FHA, VA buyers that didn't have a chance even, 3 months ago. So now some of these first-time home buyers, they have their opportunities. So everything we're coaching, everything we're advising is that, hey, let's purchase now. We feel confident that these rates are going to come down sometime next year, Don't know when, but we do feel comfortable that it will. And we feel like it has to, because what's happening now, we're looking at 2 more Fed funds rate increases, early November, early December. So we're going to see that probably 75 basis points at each hit. We're already seeing it in the rate where we kind of use the term, they're starting to bake it in a little bit to set our expectations on what the rates are going to be here in the next, 30 to 45 days. But the goal of doing that is to, obviously control the economy, control inflation, slow spending down. And the idea is that once inflation gets under control, right now we're looking at about low 8% right now. Once inflation gets under control, ideally you want to be 2-3%. Where we were at prior to COVID, around 3.5. So once inflation comes down, probably somewhere in the mid 4s to 5s is what they're hoping. We really do see rates starting to come down a little bit, right? And so I feel like I've been through 3 of these peaks and valleys now in my 22-year career. So I've seen this, and what pulls out, the housing economy, the housing market always seems to take an uptick coming out of a recession or in a recession. So a recession isn't bad for us. I mean, by definition, we're in a recession now. Recessions, 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. And what's helping us right now is that unemployment is low. If unemployment was high, along with inflation high, then that's a recession, deep recession. So they're talking about a soft landing. They want us to land soft. I hope we land soft. But if not, they're gonna jerk the plane down sometime. I feel, Q2 of next year, and we're going to feel it. We're all going to feel it. But I do feel like the housing market is going to continue to do well. I mean, it's going to get better.
Do you believe it gets a little bit worse because it gets better? You talk about interest rates of even 3-4%, where you hope it will go next year.
I'm hoping that, obviously, I don't think we ever see the 2s and 3s and potentially even the 4s. But I don't think pre-COVID we were high 4s. Pre-COVID in 19, we were the market was very, very healthy. Everybody was doing a lot of business, and we were in the high 4s. And then so obviously we dropped from there during COVID, and then 2021. Last Christmas, that week before Christmas and New Year's of last year, which is only 10 months ago, 11 months. I mean, we were doing loans at mid 2s for a 30-year mortgage. We're mid 7s now. So that's quite a jump. But again, we feel like that the housing market's gonna be stronger, considerably stronger next, Q2 is what it's being projected. So that's the hope. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball, obviously. That certainly is the hope. And having lived through several of these, and obviously the 08 and 09 years, I did great business in 08 and 09. I did, because those were people who should have been getting into homes, who were qualified to getting into homes. And, a lot of that subprime and people that were stated income, stated assets, it just made for a cleaner industry for both, and then you saw the agents getting out of the business and the loan officers that were getting out of the business. So, I mean, the cream always rises to the top. And I think you're going to see that same
with real estate agents, it gets really
market.
Quiet. Those agents that do not know how to do business, they are simply frozen right now. They take a break or a vacation, and they hope it gets better just by itself. And then agents like me, we don't know where to start, because right now we need to work harder for making the same business like we did before, and it's harder to get those people qualified. Even so, right now, for example, the FHA buyer or the VA buyer that sometimes were not looked at the last 2 years, now they have a chance. Now the seller is very interested in those offers, because we have in general less offers and more sellers right now. It's not a buyer's market yet per numbers, but the buyer definitely is already in the driver's seat when it comes to negotiation. But those people need more support. They're first-time home buyers. We need to explain more. We need to guide them more, help them more, explain more, and just sometimes to get them pre-qualified. Even I believe you guys, lenders, do need to put in more work to get them ready, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's always been the case for us. I mean, we especially, well, let me go back. You and I really need to continue to earn this business. And it was so easy for all of us the last 2 years. And for an agent that was just getting into the business a couple of years ago, how easy is that? Put a sign in the yard and show up at closing in 3 to 4 weeks. That's pretty simple. Now we've got to earn it. We're knocking on doors. We're doing Popeyes. We're staying in front of our agents. We're trying to add value wherever we can. And hey, we're in this together, right? We've got to get in.
Yeah.
We're in together. We're going to get out together, and it's just being positive. Every day is a positive attitude, and just figure out ways to continue to move forward. You know, we can't let this market, you know, drag us down, because there is a great upside to it. And we just, you know, there's
Right.
peaks and valleys to every business, and we're in a valley, you know, we're in a valley right now, and we're slowly getting out of it. And so the good thing about housing in general, the housing market is a great indicator of pulling out of a recession. It's the most money we spend as families, right? Housing market moves the needle, and we want the needle to move. And I think the country wants the housing market to be strong. So stronger the housing market, the slower we will start to get out of this recession. But I mean, we're going to be in this recession, I think, all through next year would be my thoughts. But again, still kind of reverting back to that soft landing to where we don't feel it as much. You know, as long as unemployment stays low, that's going to be good. If unemployment gets out of whack and inflation gets out of whack, meaning, you know, 8-9%, then we're back to where we kind of were for the older people on this video during Jimmy Carter, when we had stagflation. Stagflation means that the economy is just stagnant. Nothing's happening. Unemployment's high, inflation's high. People really, nothing's happening. So, you know, one of the concerns for us now, I mean, you're hearing about the possible railroad strikes. You know, you're hearing the energy crisis over in Europe. I mean, there's some big indicators going on right now that are affecting, you know, we need to be more worried about a global recession. The global recession, we'll be fine here, but, you know, it's going to, globally, if we're struggling, then, you know, it's going to carry over here to this country. And so, again, we just have to stay in our lane, stay focused, and continue to help people get into homes with what we say, concierge customer service. What are you and I going to do to differentiate ourselves to the other thousands of agents out there and mortgage people out there? So
I believe, first of all, people like you and me, first of all, we both are believers. So we don't give up as easily as other people. And I do believe that there are people that give up, and there are other people who are always searching for opportunities, like a little truffle dog or a little truffle cake. We're going through the woods, and we know it must be somewhere. The solution is somewhere, and we just keep digging. And there's always, like you just mentioned, there is an upside to almost everything, even if the market tricky right now, and we all need to shift, and it's uncomfortable, right? We're in a stretch, we're a little bit uncomfortable, but there's no growth without uncomfort. And right now the opportunity is that us as the agents, we can negotiate again for the buyer. And yesterday I saw a chart. I should have prepared it and put it up here, but it's on my Facebook. I shared it yesterday. Last year we could only help those people that bought it, and I'm sorry, my battery almost died. They wanted to buy a house for 500K. They needed to offer 600K. And they compared that with now the interest rate. Right now, we are able to buy it for 500K. We don't need to go over asking anymore. And compared to that interest rate, compared to this interest rate, it is the same payment per month. So let's just go by payment, and then let's be ready to, at one point, once interest goes down, so be always in contact with the good vendors, with good lenders like you that reach out to their client and be like, hey, it's a great time to refinance. And yes, there will be a fee involved, but it is making total sense, instead of paying $600,000, paying $500,000. And then next year to refinance. Right. We cannot be terrified in this market, because that is what makes us tank. But a time where everybody else is scared, for those that do not give up and look for the opportunity, great opportunity. Like people like Warren Buffett, they made the most money in their lifetime, always in shifting markets, because they had good advisors and they kept the cool hat as much as they could help it. And they made some mistakes left and right. You will make some mistakes. Right now I'm selling 3 of my own houses, and I'm wondering, am I making a mistake by selling? Maybe I am making a mistake, but it's, for me right now, it's the most right thing that I can come up with, putting some cash in my piggy bank and hopefully coming across some opportunities and then being able to grab them in cash. That's my strategy. Maybe I'm wrong. We will all know later. But so far, I've always been pretty blessed and pretty much right with those. So I do believe, let's look for opportunities. And even the first-time home buyers, it's a great time to get a foot in the door.
It is. And going back to what you said about your rentals, I mean, everybody has a different situation in life. Everybody has a different strategy. You know, I always go on my gut. I go on my gut, and it really hardly ever lets me down. you know, I'd make mistakes as well, but for the most part, I've done very, very well just going on my gut. And so, you know, everybody's situation is different, but this, it's hard to see if there's say if there's a right or wrong answer in this crazy market.
I appreciate your honest
for sure.
opinion.
So,
my contractor comes, I'm getting a new microwave
yes.
today. I think we got everybody up to speed.
Nice.
Anything last
Great.
thing you wanted to drop, or you think we got it
No.
covered?
No, I'll tell you, I appreciate being on here with you. This is good. And anytime we have an opportunity to kind of share for friends and family and our clients, I mean, this is a great way to add value and just to get different opinions, because you and I live this every day. So it's good to share.
Thank you so much.
Anyway, have a great day.
Again,
talk to you later.
Okay?
Thanks for the invite.
Thank you. You are awesome. Have a blessed
Yes, ma'am.
day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.